I'll wait till Thursday. Yes! Oh, hello! How is everyone doing? Oh, it is great to be here today. Fantastic. Awesome. So, this is one of those sort of random, like, streams, because I just did a bit of extra code on something, and I was like, I just want to actually, you know, like, I can't wait till Thursday. I need to, not only do I need to show it off, but I'm looking to make enhancements on it. So, last time, what we did was we were working on making cards just feel a bit smoother when you select them. And I'm hearing myself again, turning that down. Okay, yeah, we wanted to make sort of cards move a little bit smoother. And I was using this function which I called modulation. And I've just cleaned it up a little bit. So what happens now is you select a card and the other cards sort of move aside. So I'm going to select this one, they move aside. But what is good with this is you can move along like quickly and they will all sort of compensate. It still kind of remains pretty smooth. Yeah, which I'm quite proud of. And that was what I was looking to go for last episode and I couldn't quite nail it. So first of all, I'm going to explain what I've done, like how I've actually done this sort of smooth transition, like where you know, like you can move around and the cards will just keep going. So that's what I'm going to show off first, and like, because I used a lot of the same code from what I did before, but I came up with let me see if I can find it. Let's see, where is it? It's Handscript. This is the one. So if I can press Control MO. Yeah, what I had, so I've got the new modulate, right? So what we had before was modulate and modulation routine. And like, yeah, and there was actually, I put a separate function to move them apart and to move them back. Whereas the way which I've done this new modulate, once I've actually explained all this, I'm going to change this to just regular modulate and delete all the other modulate stuff. Stop saying modulate. So we've got so new modulate. Right, now here is, so what we've got is a function here called set modulation vex. Right, now, what I did before was I made a list of original card vex. But I've made a new one called target. I've basically made 2 lists here. No, that was it. I made this held one, which I don't think we need anymore. But I made 2 more lists of vectors. And essentially what's happening is when you're selecting a card, so let's go into it, right? When we're like hovering over a card, hey, how you doing, man? You alright? I don't actually like the problem with this. The thing that's quite comical is I don't even know if modulation is the correct word, and yet I committed to it, and I was like, right, I'm just going to call it modulate the whole time. So anyway, our new modulation vex. So what we've done is we're actually recording the current vector that the card is in, right? So the current actual position, and then we're adding it to a list, right? And then we're getting the target vex, where the place that they need to go, and we're doing basically the same code that we've seen before to work out where their target destination vec is, and then like once we've actually sort of got all that together, we're then during the new modulation routine. Let me actually, sorry, I did this a couple of days ago, and I'm trying to remember what I actually have done here. So we're cycling through all of the cards in hand that aren't the card that we're actually highlighting, and we're moving them to their target place from their original place. Now, what I've done quite here, which is so the modulating float is going up. So it's going up at time dot delta time times 4. So essentially, it will reach from 0 to 1 in 1/4 of a second. And here is where what we're doing is like there might be actually a sort of more simple way of doing this, but like essentially, if you think we're essentially so it's 1 minus mod float plus mod float like equals that. So we're essentially getting a portion of the original vex and a portion of the target and adding it together, and that should come up with the average to then put it in place. And yeah, so it's actually, this bit is, I say it's simpler. I committed to modulate. Why did I call it modulate? Anyway, yeah, but the way it's quite sort of clever is, so once it reaches 1, it stops modulating, and it checks that everything that is in the position is in the position it should be. And it just puts everything in position. Right. So it's also every time we're actually doing the new modulate, we're setting the mod float to 0. So whenever you're cycling through, as soon as you cycle to the next one from another one, it will record those vector positions, and then like move it, and then get the target destination. So that way, it's always going to seem smooth. No matter, because no matter where, however much you move it. So that's basically what I've done. We're gonna keep this in. Yeah, like I say, I don't think we need this at all now. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Like, because I sort of dabbled. I got close with it before. Yeah, just gonna get rid of this one as well. Okay. I got very close to fixing it last episode, but not quite. So I thought I'm just going to do this last little bit. But what are we going to do today? That's the big question. So this is going to be a comparatively quick stream, hopefully, because I've got a particular plan. And I was thinking, I don't like the best part of like coding is when you're kind of looking, you're thinking, I know what I want to do, and how am I going to go about doing it? So it probably seems pretty obvious, but obviously there's quite a lot of things I need to do to this game. But one thing that I definitely do need to do is it's still to do with the smoothness of the hand. So you select it. All the other cards look great. They're moving aside. Everything's great. This card's far too big, right? Anyone can read that. That text is too big. Anyone looking at that, they're going to be thinking, well, we don't need the card to take up like almost half the screen. So what I want to do is I want the card selected to actually move as smoothly as everything else does. So I want it to sort of, instead of clicking from small to big, I want it to grow to big, like pretty quickly. So let's see. Let's give that a shot. So the current code that we've got, yeah, like, and do I know exactly how I'm going to do it? No, of course not. But that's part of the fun. So what's happening at the moment is, let me get rid of this. Yeah, so on pointer enter, this is where I've done the hand script doing the new modulate. So just to confirm, I greened out this bit because it's no longer necessary. Card script, yeah. Now, where we've got make card in front, we essentially have got the this is essentially moving it to the return vec, the position where it should return to, plus 1.25, and making the Euler angles 0, so it goes flat up, instead of being at an angle when you select it. And I'm making the scale this big. So what I kind of want to do is basically all of this, but in a coroutine. And however, so like, yeah, so what we're actually going to do, I'm going to, so the actual sorting order is going to, this bit of code is going to remain in. So, but all of this bit, we want to actually do all of this in the hand script, but do it in a nice smooth fashion that goes with everything. So yeah, like I say, I have no idea, and I think 2 at the moment, the local scale being 222 means that the card is becoming twice as big, right? I think that's a bit too big. We can probably change it to like 1.5 or something. But I'm going to so yeah, where we've got move cards. So yeah, so all of this code here, this is moving it in front. We're going to turn it into a coroutine somehow. It'll be magic. It's fine. Do that. Turn that into a coroutine. And where we've got move the cards back. This bit, however, sorry, I might be shouting. I do apologise. I've just had kind of back-to-back coffees, and I'm drinking coffee now. But yeah, so this bit's going to remain in this function. But this bit, like I said, I'm just excited to actually get this to place. Right, okay. So, how are we going to do that? I have an idea. I've got an idea. So quite often, oh yeah. Okay. So the hard part is we're going to have we're going to essentially have another list to control size. So let's go copy and paste this and just change some of the variables, or another 2 lists. So original card vec scale vecs. Right, and so where we're setting the vecs here, all the vectors. So this we've already set the location as to where they're going to move to, and we can actually use again similar code to change their scale. So I'm just going to copy this, and then paste it. Right, so this is going to be... actually, no. You know what? The more I look at it, it's actually going to be slightly different, because it's going to be so much simpler than this that there's no point in me copying and pasting and trying to come up with a different version. So, original card scale vex equals new, and this should be as simple as cards in hand dot count, sorry. Yeah, so we're cycling through with this for loop all the cards in hand, and for each of them, if cards in hand I is equal to, actually let's just say is not equal to, oh no, sorry. I'm just catching myself off guard here, so forget all this. Cards in hand, right, get trans dot okay, right. So the original card vex are what their size is currently. So let me just go settle this. Original card scale vex I dot add okay, so what are we doing here first? Right, we are recording the size of, or the local scale of each card. Far too much coffee. Right, we're recording the size of each card that it currently is. So if, for example, you're cycling through cards quite quickly, the idea is it's going to spend quarter of a second going from a smaller size to a bigger size. But if you're cycling really quickly, then it might be somewhere in between, and this code here compensates for that. So here we go, and this is where it gets target original equals. This is where this bit again, I'm going to kind of make it up as I go along, but it should be okay. Okay, just checking my head isn't in the way. That's good. Been caught in that trap a few times. Okay, so the target scale that it's going for. Actually, no, this is fine, isn't it? If cards in hand I is not equal to card script. Sorry, when we're saying card script, this is a bit of an explanation. When we're beginning to modulate, the argument, the thing that we're putting into this modulation vec script is a card script. So, and it can be null. And if it's null, then a few things change. But again, the code compensates for if it is null. So, if cards in hand is not equal to card script, then target card scale vex dot add, and it's just simply vector3.1. But if we are actually doing the card that we want it to be target card scale vix dot add new vector 3, and we're going to make it say, I reckon 1.5. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm going to say this now. I've been using lists this whole time, but the more I look at it, the more I've put this together, it actually makes more sense to use arrays instead of lists. I'm using lists because I only actually discovered them like a few months ago, and I just want to use them all the time. But this is one of those times where arrays would make more sense. So like the coding would be pretty much the same. It's going to take me it would take me a few minutes to change it, and if I have chance, I'll just change it all to arrays, but that might be something that I'll do off stream. I can't really explain why. I think it's just lists, I think, are just a bit more processor intensive. There's a bit more going on in a list, and we don't really need to use any of the features. So anyway, just thought I'd let you know. Right, so now we've set all the target scale vex, and there's something else that I want to do as well. I'm excited. Sorry, this is brilliant. I love it. Right. So, come on, this is the most exciting thing ever. So, actually, yeah, so where we're actually setting the target, this is the destination vex. So this is where the cards are going to move to when you select something, right? What we actually want to do is, so, because, just to clarify, all of this code here, I actually want to entirely get rid of it. Right, I want all of the growing and the shrinking and at some point the rotating to be all done in this hand script, because it just makes more sense. It's like now I've got to this stage, because I knew this code was a bit rubbish to begin with, but now I've got to this stage, I'm thinking it makes way more sense for the hand script to just hold everything. So I'll save that. We know it works okay without that, but this will hopefully look even better. So now I'm just going to quickly see, are we going to get an error message? So, oh yeah, I normally just click play, but if you press Control P, it plays for you. And the reason I'm saying this now is because what I want to do is I want to highlight one of these. Oh, it's actually not gone. No, that's fine though. Control Shift P. Okay, it's paused. So what we're looking to do is I just want to select this and work out if we make the scale 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. There should be a quite round number that. And I think it's got to be 0.5, hasn't it? I think that looks good. Okay, sorry, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to work out where I want to set the Y value of the targeted card. And I think 0.5 looks good. Okay. So, right, what does all that mean? Why is he saying 0.5? Oh, yeah, cool. So the 0.5 is where we're setting the target vex. Okay. So yeah, when we're setting the target destination vex, right? Obviously, the cards to the left and to the right of the card are going to move further left or further right, respectively. But the central card is actually going to remain on the same X scale, but the Y is just going to move up. Right, so this should hopefully be as... Yeah. Okay, so how are we going to find out what vector it needs to move to? I believe we know that the temp... So we've already got the temp vec equaling to the return vec, so that's where it would move back down to. But it's essentially temp vec dot y equals 0.5, because everything else, so what we're doing, we're getting the return vec and then just forcefully turning the y into 0.5. Okay, why are we doing that? For great reasons. It's so that we can actually do all the transitions within the modulation thing. So what's happening? So modulating. And here, so, I mean, unless I'm mistaken, as I look at this in my head, I thought there was going to be more code, but it looks like we're actually taking bits of code out. So we've got this if statement. I think it no longer matters if it's the card to modulate around or not. We'll leave these if statements here just in case, but I don't think they're necessary. So also what we need to do is sort the scales out. So let's have a look. So it's going to be, again, copying and pasting, because a lot of the cards dot local scale. Local scale equals original. Let's have a look. Hey, oh, how you doing? You all right? It's all right. I consider any time before three in the afternoon morning. So I still see it as morning. How are you doing though? You all right? Okay. So yeah, I've done a bit of tweaking with the modulation. And yeah, at the moment I think I'm going to have one of those sort of moments where I'm hoping everything's going to just look really good. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. You know, like, yeah, you know when you kind of do a sort of coding for about sort of half an hour to an hour to be like, we're finally going to get like a result and stuff. Yeah, I'm getting close to the I'm getting close to that sort of climax, that sort of bit of like a yes, the sort of crescendo. Local scale. Right, okay. I think that's all we need to do, but I'm going to have a quick read over just before. So we're doing the new modulate. Yeah, it might just be forever known as new modulate. That's fine. We're setting the card script. This is the big boy. This one sorts out the local scale that we're looking to set it to. This is how we're setting the local scale. We're doing 1.5. So the thing which I'm not sure if it is going to work is if we've got the Y, if the card when it highlights will be in line with where it should be. But let's have a look. Let's go find this. Right. Okay, moment of truth. Oh yes, of course, we haven't actually set the angles yet. But that's fine though, isn't it? Yeah. So that's what I like. I like that sort of smoothness. And so, yeah, so you can move around. But I do want to, I also, when you select it, we're going to do some similar code again to get the Euler angle correct. And yeah, so that's, yeah, but apart from that, that's actually worked a lot better than I thought. Yeah, I like it. Okay, right, we just got to sort out, because I want it, when you select it, for it to suddenly go upright as well. So, now this is going to be a little bit trickier, because we're going to have to refer to how did we get the Euler angles to begin with. So, now, actually, what I'm going to do, so for these, I was explaining here how these really should be arrays. What I will do now, because in this case, believe it or not, it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to use the Euler angle version in arrays instead of lists, because I just want to know how, you know, to do it, and like, yeah, just like, I mean, you know, kind of remaining with consistency. But the reason I'm doing this in arrays is so I can learn from this and then change these into arrays. So public vector 3. Let's do, yeah. So this is the this is going to be an array instead of original card Euler vex. Okay. Oh, target card Euler vex. Okay. So, let me just close everything up. Set modulation vex. We're going to, yeah. So this is actually, I'm quite proud. This is quite nice. This bit of code because it's doing quite a lot of work. It's setting all the vectors up. So now we're going to do right. So you know what? Let's actually copy and paste this because Control Z. Okay, Control C. There we go. Okay, so but I want to kind of change it manually. So it's going to be original Euler vex equals new vector 3 cards in hand dot count. Okay, right. And now we're going to have well, that's not going to be local scale, it's going to be Euler. I don't think it matters if it's local. I'm just going to do regular Euler angles. I don't think it matters if it's local or not because it's always going to be 0. So, yeah. So this is just the array version. Right, now we're going to have target card Euler vex equals new. Yeah, but you can just see, like, it's almost like it's a it's just a way of showing the difference between a list and an array. Okay, now I've got to remember. So let's go change all of this. So this is just the bit that we're looking to change. So in fact, we already know that okay, so what I'm doing here is we've already stored the original card vex, and now we've stored the Euler vex of sorry, so that's the rotation vex of all the cards here, and now we're now looking to work out what the actual angle is. So let me actually, the thing which I'm trying to work out, because we can do something quite fancy here, maybe, but I want to have a little dabble. So, because yeah, we can do something quite fancy. I just don't know if we should. So I think, because what I kind of want is when you say select this, all the other cards maybe rotate away a bit. But I don't know. Let's have a look at what our original code does. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because when it came to setting the Euler angles to begin with. So I'm just going to have a little debug here. Debug.log fit important code here. There we go. So, how do we actually... Yeah, like I say, I got to remember how we actually set the rotation of the cards. Oh, here we go. Z rotation. Here we go. This is what we did. What does any of this mean? Right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, in essence, this didn't need to be vectors. This could just be floats. But that's fine. That's fine. Okay. I think we can do something with this. Yeah. So I'm just sort of staring at this. So so I think what we should do to begin with is make it so it doesn't rotate any more or less. I think we just stick with this, using this bit of code. I will probably have to change. Yeah, there's the, what's the expression where you stick a rod in your own back or something? I can't remember the thing where, like, I was thinking, what I've done earlier won't necessarily help me out here, but so this is how we got the Z's. Oh no. Okay, I've got an idea. Okay, so I'm copying this. There we go. Okay. Get rid Z. Get rotation Z when card is selected. Okay. Right. When card is selected. So now, so where we're trying to get the UL of X, we're going to have if. So bear in mind, in this whole function, we can have the card script equal to null. If card script is equal to null, then we're going to have an array of floats. Float Z rotations equals null, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. So we've got that. So if there is no card selected and we're moving it off, we're unhovering, then we want our Z rotations to equal just the original one, just the get rotation Z. Okay. Else Z rotations equals get rotation when card is selected. I know, it's at the moment they're exactly the same function. So when we're actually returning to null, all we're doing is having target UL of X I. Oh no. Okay, I've got we need to do a for loop. Yeah, I knew I was missing something. Right, okay. In I equals 0, I less than cards in hand dot count. Okay. Z rotations. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sorry. Target card ULEX I equals new vector 3 open brackets 0.0 f 0.0 f comma z rotations. I probably need to put a comma there as well. There we are. Okay, so this is essentially setting our returning vecs, right? So like this is where they're going to move to once we've unselected a card. And if we have got a card selected, I'm going to go Control X. Yeah. Okay, so here. Right, how do we actually... What will happen? How do we actually want the rotations to work? Okay. I've got an idea. So here, we actually want to put a card script. I might be making this a bit complicated. I just quite like... So I think when we have a card selected... Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh my... Yeah, actually, you're completely right. Yes, we could definitely consolidate them. I think for the time being, for simplicity reasons, I want to just show, like, I've done this bit, then this bit, then this bit. But yeah, we're going to do, like... Yeah, I think I can probably... At the moment, this is currently taking up... 120 lines of code, and I reckon I can cut that down to about 50. So yes, yeah, completely. Yeah, I'm going to do that. What I'll do, I'll just make sure it all works. But yeah, you're completely right. What are you talking about? We need 1 million for loops. I should have. Yeah, but no, you are completely right. Okay, so how is this different? So I think. Okay, this is an experiment. I actually don't... I think this will look quite good, but I have no idea. We're going to have a Boolean called... damn. It's something like threshold. I'm wasting lots of time thinking of the... okay, we're going to just call it threshold equals false. Okay. I came up with a better name for it. Okay, so we've set that. Okay, sorry, yeah, so we don't need that. Yeah, I think, right, so threshold. So if nope, not that one. Cards in hand I is equal to card script. Let's just say it's not equal to. If threshold if not yeah. I know I'm wasting so much time thinking what I should call this variable, and it's like okay, yeah, threshold passed. Okay, we're going to change it to passed. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, we're going to call it threshold passed. So if the threshold has not been passed, rotation Z's I think it's plus equals. Now here's this is where the number I'm going to guess. I'm going to try 10. Else And actually, now I'm looking at this now. Yeah, we might actually be able to make something look a little bit... I like the way that I can sort of see something. Like, by doing this, I've realised that we can clean up a bit of code from earlier. Quite a bit, actually. Does that look good? So what we're doing, we kind of want it to... If there's cards on the left, we want it to rotate more left or anti-clockwise. And if it's on the right, we want to make it rotate more right. I have no idea. This is a complete experiment. I have no idea what it's actually going to look like. It's just this feels okay. So I pressed insert. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Because all we need to do is have... I think we can get rid of all this. Okay. Now, have we actually done any code to actually... Yeah, the more I look at it, you're like, yeah, this is clearly... oh, hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So new modulate. So we just need to actually get the rotation sorted now. Just copy and paste that and change it. Because part of the beauty with this is it doesn't actually matter if it's the card to modulate around or not. It will just follow the instructions. So I, one, have no idea if this is going to work, and two, have no idea that even if it does work, if it's going to look any good. I'm sure it'll look great. Let's go for it. Okay. That's obviously what I was going for, right? I wonder why they're flipping. Oh, I think I got the numbers wrong. Okay. That looks quite funny. Okay, we needed to minus instead of plus, or we needed to just swap some pluses and minuses around. That's okay. How do we get... So... But that actually, you know what, that almost works. I think this needs to be a minus, and this needs to be a plus. We're going to just literally change that and give that a shot. Oh. However, it should have just returned back. So let's give this a try, but when we moved off, it should have just moved back. Oh, no, wait a sec. I think I know the problem. It's alright, don't worry. I know the... I think, yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, another slight problem we've got as well, which I'm looking to hopefully fix today, is when the cards are moving and the mouse happens to hover over it, it will give us an error message. Okay, yeah. So we're still getting the fun rotations. Oh, I think I see the problem. Because the thing which is very difficult when we're dealing with Euler angles is because it can be minus, it gets incredibly confused. Like, as in, if you have something rotating, I'm going to try and visualise the problem. Let's go, I'm just going to create a cylinder. Let's go. Because... where's that? So... yeah, so, like, as I'm rotating this on the z-axis, it's rotating around, right? And that's now, it's 180 degrees. But as soon as it gets to, if you think minus 360, in a way, it should just click to 0, because regardless of the rotation, minus 360 and 0 are the same number, like, as far as Euler goes, but it kind of tries to compensate for that. I remember having this pain before, but I came up with a cheeky bit of code that that essentially deals with, that does deal with this. Yeah, there's just a way that it's one of those kind of, like, again, it's one of those kind of little exercises that just works quite well. That, like, I will either dig up the old code that I found that basically just deals with all of the over rotations. But I'll do that another time. So I know what's wrong. And I think because what's also quite nice is I've got a way to fix it, and this will fix other things as well. Sorry, let me just have a quick look. Where was the... right, just keeping the mouse far away so we don't get the error message. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, because I remember trying to set up this before was quite difficult. So we're going to have a look at the code where we... this one. Okay, I'm going to do something that's going to be quite radical. Right. Okay. Just in case, I'm going to do the classic. Put this in comments because I don't want to accidentally mess something up that I won't be able to fix. So I'm going to put this in comments. Okay. So if that is... okay, stick with me here. Right, so yeah, like I say, we can get rid of all this. This is kind of like, you know, sometimes when you're kind of walking into dangerous territory. Because I was never happy. I was never happy with this anyway. So I think we might be able to actually just change that. And I think this is just I. Okay, right. So now we've done that. So in an ideal world, what's going to happen is when the cards are originally drawn, they're going to curve inwards. So I'm just want to have a quick look at something. So basically, I've created. It's going to currently look worse because the cards are going to be curving the wrong way. But I want to just check that they are going to be going the wrong way. Because if that's the case, we just need to change one of the Z rotation functions. Yes! Right, brilliant. Okay, why are you so excited? That's not how... no one holds their cards like that. No one does that. But in an ideal world, when we select it and then go back, it will still go back to that original position. Right, that's what I was after. Okay, now all we need to do is change this one here into... We just need to basically make it the opposite of what it was. So... start Z equals 5 equals -5, and that is going to be positive. Okay, right. Now we've got to do the same for... in fact, let's just check that works, and then I'll change it for the other one. In fact, it was no effort, was it? It was no effort whatsoever. Let's just change it from there as well. So, yeah, I'll explain what I'm doing afterwards as well. Because I've realised... Yeah, let's give this a try. Okay, that's right. Ah, right, okay. So that is... Yes, okay, believe it or not, this is actually what... This is pretty much what we're after. We just need to sort out those rotations. Why is it rotating like that? I do know why. I just got to work out exactly the best way to do it. Oh yes, right. So okay, let's so believe it or not, even though I don't want it to spin like that, I'll explain what I've just done. That's the wrong button. Okay. Oh yeah. I had this sudden panic that I accidentally clicked mute on my microphone and I was talking for ages. I do worry sometimes. I know that yeah, like thought I just clicked the wrong button. Anyway, right. So let me get rid of that. Oh yes, first of all I was going to do that suggestion that KO2 fan brought up. New modulate script setting here. Oh my word. Huh. Okay, yeah, this is going to be this. I should be able to like you say fit a lot of stuff into one big old for loop. So we'll have, yeah, because we've got the for loop there. So yeah, at the moment we don't actually need the for loop. What I'll do is just purely because it's a bit sort of dangerous, I'm just going to copy and right underneath here, in fact we can just do it here. Okay, good. Right, so now when I make these changes, if I mess everything up, we know where we can go back to. So it's all about here, yeah. We can clean this up so much. So I think we can get rid of that and that. Like I say, I've copied and pasted this already. Card script is not equal to null. Okay. Oh, I like this. Is actually quite satisfying. It's like just making so much space. Yeah. Oh, wow. I know not that many people would actually be like, "Oh, wow, we're cutting down the amount of code. It's clean." Like, yeah, there's so much we can do here. So we're essentially doing all the same code. We're just making it look a bit nicer. So. Oh wow, look at all this. Oh my gosh, we can just put all this in here. Okay. Right, so that's if card script is not equal to... Oh yeah, so... Control X. Oh, the threshold part is going to make things a little bit of a pain. Let me just put it underneath here. Oh, threshold cross. That's what I called the original thing. Okay. Let's just copy and paste all of this. Right, let's have a look. Right. Yeah, so essentially we're trying to sort of crunch everything down into one for loop, which I do quite like. I like the challenge. I just want to check that I haven't, that I'm putting, that they're all doing the things that they should do. Oh, I think it's as simple as that. Okay. Right, now let's go get these bad boys up. Right. meet your friends. Right, okay. So these are all the yeah, we I like it. I mean, I know, like, the thing is, this is really good practice as well, to actually try and sort of, you know, like, I mean, the reason I'm intentionally leaving this up is just so that I can actually see how many, like, wasted for loops I had. So this is easy. We're just sort of gutting all the original functions. There we go. Well done. Alright. So that should be fine. Right. So okay, I think we need to just select certain bits here. So first of all, we're going to have this over here. And so this is setting the Z rotations. Now we don't need any of this yet. All we want to do is make sure we set the Z rotations correct, and it's so. All of this is actually the same code anyway. Wow, how much we are making an awful lot of space here. I didn't realise how much. Like, this is exactly the same line. We could have just had this underneath the whole thing. So it is actually really good that we're sort of slowly clearing out, like clearing all this out. So I think. So here's where it actually gets interesting. We, I think all we need to do is go Control X, just get one of these actually. Yeah, Control C, let's just be on the safe side. And just get rid of all this. So, what I'm actually, like, I'm going to try and clear this up. I think we still need this, but once we've actually got this, that means all the ULEVEX. Right, so I think that's fine. Let's go get rid of. I'm just going to comment this out. Right, let's have a look. Okay. So, yeah, let's see if the for loop worked. Let's see if everything. I mean, like, this is, yeah, like I say, it's definitely worth the effort. But right, it's definitely worth going through. Oh, hold on. Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, again, I don't think the cards had arrived properly, so or they might have, and we've got another problem. But if that's the case, that's still fine. Ah, okay, there is a problem. Right, let's see. Right. It feels like it might be to do with... actually, does it actually say? Does it work out what array it's referring to? No, but we'll get there. I was really... Yeah, hopefully... Yeah, so... It must have been... Index was out of range... Must be. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's all right. Let's try and work out where where it's actually where the problem lies. So go to definition. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. It's not any of this. I think there's a certain bit. So this is the advantage with using lists over arrays, is there's a certain bit somewhere where we're not adding we're not adding something. We're not adding one of the things. In fact, I wonder if the error message is still up. So we might even be able to pinpoint exactly where it is. So, oh, okay. Oh, that's actually, sorry. I'll explain what I'm looking at. So obviously there's 5 cards. So we've got quite a lot of series of 5 vectors. And for whatever reason, this one here is saying 0. And it should be saying 5. So it's actually the scale vex. So somewhere it's a problem with the scale vex. And we'll probably find we just haven't assigned it properly. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, but I don't think... I think this will solve... I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. So what we had done is we hadn't set the size of the scale vector if there was no card. So if the card script is not equal to null, so if we have got a card selected when we're doing this modulation, then sure, it will set the vector to it will be making sure it sets the vector here with the if and else stuff. However, when there is no card selected, there was nothing. So by adding this, hopefully that will just fix everything. And then we're going to actually have fun trying to work out the best way of sorting out these spinny rotation things. Oh, hold on. Okay, right. A slight problem we've got is all the cards are moving to the right, whereas it should be different to that. I don't think that's too hard to fix. That's just obviously, that's just, so let's get those cards to move correctly. So... So it's to do with, yeah, so this bit here is setting the position, and we've got a slight problem with the position, and there's something here. What is the distance? Distance is 1. So it returns back to the same point. If cards... So what we're going to do just after here... Yeah, so... Yeah, right. so they're all moving right. So that means that X plus, it's as if the threshold never gets crossed. And it should do. So I'm actually going to have 4... This is just a quick cheeky thing. Will I put this at the end of everything? Actually, no, we can. This would be much easier. So I think when you use debug, I think you can just put arrays in, and it will literally just print all of the vectors, because that's what we want to look at. So then we can actually further sort of diagnose the problem. Okay. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Although we might be able to just look at it. So, no longer maximum on play. Let's have a look at the hand. We've got so it's these target vex. These are the ones that are sort of leading us the wrong path. So we'll continue there. Yeah. So that's okay. We know we now have narrowed it down to it's a problem with the X value over here. So if card in hand, ooh, I am actually not sure. So the purpose of all this code is to check whatever card you've selected, and if it is the card you selected, you don't change the position at all. If it isn't, then it moves either left or right. And I've got this threshold crossed to fix that. So I want to actually. I'm going to see if this code is ever called. So debug.log. Is this ever read? Right. So I want. I want to know, like, because it feels like it's just not accessing this bit, and I can't quite work out why. We can get rid of that. That was a lost cause. It turns out you can't debug log entire arrays of things. I thought you could, but let's have a look. Let's give this a try. So no, it's not. And why? Okay, right. We're slowly getting this narrowed down. Just can't quite work out why. So cards in hand. And I also want to confirm that that this one is being called ideally 4 times. Let's just check. Yeah, so if we see this error message come up 4 times, we know this has happened. This has been 4 times. So I just want to check. Yeah, this is what I love. This is why I like coding. I just can't quite work out why. You know, when you're actually, I think when I finally find it, it's going to be that sort of eureka moment of, oh, I had this over here. But I feel we're kind of like, it's one of those sort of, we're about 1/3 the way through the Sherlock Holmes episode, so or whatever, you know, where it's like, you know, the big reveal hasn't been made yet, and I'm just, you know, I'm enjoying the journey up until this point. Okay, so we clear all this. So yeah, it is done 4 times. Okay. I don't know. Let's right. So this code is done 4 times. If the card in hand, the one that we're referring to, is not equal to the card script. Actually, let me just check another thing. So, yeah, because that essentially does move them in the way that we want it to move. I want to actually have a check of the target scale of X. So, right, okay. So let's actually just go through it one by one and try and work out. So what we've done is we have created the original Vex and the target Vex. Now these ones here have already been assigned to the right place. This one here, this is the new list. And when we get to this bit here, we have got a Boolean. Yeah. I've worked it out. It's alright, guys. This doesn't need to be here. This needs to be up. Yep, okay. I'm pretty sure this is going to work now. So, okay. Oh man, I thought this was going to be one of those like, oh, have I just created my own version of the Matrix where like something completely impossible has become impossible? Oh my gosh, no, it's not. It's a boring answer. This bit shouldn't have been here. So we're setting this new Boolean every single time. So setting this to false does nothing because at the end of it, it's just thrown away. Okay, right. This is it. This yeah. Okay, we're okay. Thought I was moving it up and I just clicked something. Okay, we're fine. Everything's good. Yeah, this bit has got to be all the way out here. Sorry, let me... I'm looking at I'm grabbing the wrong thing. Okay, it's this. Here we go, Control X. Oh man, okay. Right, let's just see if that works. Right, here we are. Okay. Now what's happening with that one over there? Oh no, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. It's annoying actually that it kind of moves everything out of sync when you do that, but that should be fine. Okay, so if... So yeah, the problem that we've got here is because we've got this Boolean outside, it's meaning that the card isn't checking. Like we're just checking, because obviously when we're doing the destination vec, we always want to do, if it's actually the one selected, we want to do this bit of code here. Okay. So I think we can actually clean up quite a bit here. Okay, I like it. So what have we done? We're checking if the card is equal to the card script. If that's the case, we're setting the R vector to the return vec plus 0.5, yeah, for it to move to, and the threshold will be crossed. However, if it's not there and the threshold has not been crossed, we're setting it to move right, and if it's not the card script and the threshold has been crossed, we're setting it to move left. Okay, I think we're there. Oh yeah, no worries, man. No, that's cool. Yeah, I had quite a cool sort of little moment there where I realised I kept this in the for thing, in the for loop, and it gave me mischief. Okay. Right. Let me actually get it a bit bigger so it's a bit easier to manipulate. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Right, so what we need to do now is fix these rotations. Stop it from spinning around. Which shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too hard. Oh, no, it's much easier than I thought. It's much easier. Oh, yeah, completely fine. So, first of all, let me just quickly have a look at something. So we want to have a look at the original UNIVEX and the target UNIVEX. So let's go make the screen just a little bit bigger. Take the maximize off play. We just want to, we don't need to see that or that. We just want to have a look at these as we select them. So, yeah, okay. So here's where the problem lies. I'll press Control-Shift-P. So that pauses everything. I can now move the mouse off. We have got... it's minused it, and basically it's trying to get an average. I see why it's spinning. So what we really need to do is make sure that when we're minusing, we always want to just have a little function which makes sure that this, instead of being minus 20, I mean, actually, there's a much easier way. We've got multiple ways we can do this, but instead of this being minus 20, it would be 340. I think. Yeah. Because we're dealing with minuses and pluses, and it gets a bit confusing. So if we just try to make all of the rotations on the Z a positive number, I think. Let me. Maybe that's not right. It makes sense to. I want to kind of look at two bits of code side by side. So I'm actually going to make life a bit easier on myself. I'm going to move this just all the way down over here. So we've got these two together and we can actually have a look. No, hold on. That was it. What we need to do is, I think we need to make sure that if the number is, if the Z rotation is either less than minus 180 or more than a positive 180, we have to set it so it's in between that bracket. So we either have to continuously add 360 or minus 360. I think, yeah. Because I remember always having this problem. Actually, no. You know what? We've actually got the code here. As in, I've had this problem with a different thing. I've had this problem before, and I've made a function somewhere in this. In this, 1,500 lines of code. We've got it somewhere. Because, like I say, I've dealt with this problem, but like part of me doesn't want to just copy and paste it. I want to remember what I actually did to actually deal with this. It's sort rotation vec, right? Okay. So, that is quite. Is that really the best that I came up with? Okay, well, this deals with the problem. So, my word. I mean, like, this deals with it. Okay, we have done 180. I'm seeing the number 180 there. I must come up with a better method than this. I mean, yeah, this deals with it somehow, but I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna copy all of this because there's a start. For some reason it needs two vectors. So anyway, all we're gonna do is just make sure that the Z rotation is. Yeah, okay. Right, yeah, hopefully this should be fine. Yeah. I feel like it's like past me was has got this kind of look as though like, don't worry, I got you covered, and it is giving me this, and it's like, what is going on here? I'm like, no, you know what, past me. I'll figure this problem out on my own. I think the best way to do this is actually even though it's going to take me a little while, instead of getting float Z rotation, we're actually just going to return vectors. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to return the whole vector, not just the Z rotation. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, okay, I'm making that decision. So this is going to lead to various different problems, but this is fine. So we're going to rename this to get rotation Z vex. Okay, and we're going to return an array of vectors. So yeah, this is going to take a little while because it's just, I find it actually easier to change something and then look at where all the error messages are and just change it one by one. So we've got vector 3. So we actually need a vector 3 returning vex. We're just going to call it get rotation vex. I think simply by changing this, it will fix the problem. But yeah, I think it will fix the problem altogether. But if not, then at least it will be clearer and easier to actually work with. So we actually want to go, so we want to return the returning vex. Returning rotation vex. There we go. Okay. So hopefully this will get rid of, yeah. I think we don't need this at all. I think we can just get rid of that. Bam. We just want, this is the important bit, so now we're working under the assumption that when we're creating vectors like a new array, they're all starting at 0, 0, but I would rather play that on the safe side and actually set it. So yes, so here we go. Okay. So we just need to do that for this one as well. It's going to be a little bit more confusing. Ah, damn, I've got a really good lazy method. Do I do the lazy method? So the lazy method is literally this. It's simply vector 3. But no, as in the reason I'm considering the lazy method is because I think it's the correct method as well. This isn't like, I think it is. It actually makes sense, like, because this is basically all this code here is just sorting out all the Z values, and now we just need to just put it in place. So returning Euler cannot spell rotation these days. Returning rotation vex. There we go. Oh. No. Alright, okay. We can... This is okay. Just because we're manipulating a few more little things. Right. Alright, what have I done here? Right, I've just been sort of staring into the abyss while I've been doing this. What have I actually done? So, we're changing both this... Oh yeah, and now here we can just return... Oh, of course, this has to be a vector. So... returning rotation vector. Right, so what have we just done here? We have get rotation vex, and we're going to rename this as well. We've basically got a function that instead of returning just a z value, we're returning a whole vector. Now that's going to mess with some code that's somewhere else in here, but like, yeah, it's purely because the Unity has difficulty distinguishing like the difference between like minus 20 on the z-axis and 340, because essentially they're the exact same rotation but they're recorded as different numbers. I am going to try and hard fix a way. I'm going to try and work out a way of fixing that, and the beginning step is, instead of just getting the float values, we're going to get the full Euler angle. Yeah. Right. I want to change this to get rotation vex when card is selected. Okay. Alright, so now there will be error messages, and it's actually quicker for me to just go down here and then just find them all out one by one. So let's go. Oh yeah, I can press Control RR to rename. So Z rotation, we just call this rotation vex. Okay. I'm just gonna, like I say, I'm just gonna go through it one by one. Oh, we've created even more. Right. Return vec. Return Euler vec equals okay, that should have fixed one, so we're should be fine. Okay, down to 4. So I actually realised that we're we're still putting in needless code here, because we don't need this at all. We can just put that straight in there. But I would rather see if it works and then fix it afterwards. Right, down to 3. All right. So yeah, because we've changed this function to return a vector instead of a float, we're just having to go one by one, just change all the code. So I think we might even be down to 2 now. That's good. Okay, so that one we're going to rename to rotation vex. Yeah, good. That's the error message there. Okay. So I think this still might cause a problem, but I think I'll know what to how to fix it if it does. Right, so that's all the error messages gone. So I think we might still have the issue, but it's just, I feel like what I've done here is the equivalent of kind of like opening the car bonnet to actually have a look inside, and by changing that function so it's all vectors, it means it's going to be a lot easier to manipulate and to fix. So we still have the same problem, that's fine. And let's have a look. So actually, a good thing that we could do... Oh, yeah, it's a much easier thing to do. Yeah, much easier. Right, my idea is... Oh, yes, okay, fantastic. So what we've got here... somewhere... Didn't realise there's actually this much code involved in a card script. Right, get return vec, set return vec. Return Euler vec. Have I actually done this at any point? Oh, hang on. How was I getting the Euler vec before? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what the problem is. I mean, now we've done all of this, I know where the problem lies. So, let me just close. Let me just try and work out. So, where we've got here, that's it. So the original... Now this is interesting. So it's that bit there. That's what we're trying to concentrate on. Yeah, because what we're doing, let me just double check, because I think I know where the problem is now. When we're getting hold of the Euler vec, we're just getting hold of its current setting. What we essentially need to do is change the Z, so the original. Okay, so it's to do with this rotation here, but let's have a little look. So that's where it comes from. Okay, so what we want to do is where we're setting the Euler-Vex here, where we've got 330, 340, 350, blah 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 blah. We need to essentially minus 360 until it's somewhere between minus 180 and plus 180. Just got to work out the easiest way of doing that. So and I want to have a bit of sort of rigid code. Okay, I'll put the code in which I think will fix it, and then I'm going to try and tidy it up a bit. So if is greater than 180, right. Let me have a look. Sorry, my brother calling me. I'll have to give him a call in a sec. In fact, what I'll do, I'm just going to give him a quick call. I'll go on break, just one sec. Let me just put my mic on mute. I'll be Hey, yeah, sorry about that. I'm just checking I've unmuted the mic. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, sorry, my bro was just checking everything was all good. Right. Yeah. Anyway, right. We're back in business. So that dot z is greater than there. So I think that line will fix it, but I don't like it. I want to just see if that does work. Not quite. Right. Okay. So I think this will fix it, but it's a bit of a... Yeah, it's kind of a bit like putting a masking tape on a leak, just being like, yeah, no, don't worry, putting masking tape over this problem fixes the problem forever. Right. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let's have a look. Oh, so the rotations... Huh. Okay, right. So now we're kind of back at the point where we were, where like so. I now, yeah, this is essentially what our code we wanted our code to do. So we want to make sure. Oh, yep. Okay, everything's fine. Okay, we want to make sure that when we say select this one and this one rotate away from it. Whereas for some reason, if I'm selecting this central one, this is actually moving the wrong direction as far as Euler angles, as far as rotations go. Because, yeah, if you just look, this one, yeah, this should be turning more that way, whereas it's actually turning more clockwise. So it should be going, yeah. So I don't actually think it's too bad. I think there is just something very simple to fix this. Yeah. So I'm just gonna have a little play around, try and work out if this like, because I have a feeling even if I get the thing that I was going for, it might not be exactly what it might not look exactly right. So yeah, right. So we just want to make sure that I feel like we've just got there's just might be something slightly small. It's basically getting the rotation vex correct. Oh. Oh yeah, no, I actually quite liked the like that sort of spinny look, but I feel it's a little bit more gimmicky, and like my sort of argument for all right, no one saw me put this line of code in. No one saw that this was here the whole time. It's fine. This code got away. Anyway, yeah, that that needed to be done sooner rather than later. Right. Okay, that should hopefully fix the angling issues. Yeah, the problem is whenever I have any anything that spins and I'm like, I don't know why it's spinning. I always like to be like, I don't mind doing it, but I want it to be on my own terms. You know, at the moment it was almost like an incidental, like, you know, it's just something that just incidentally happened. And yeah. Right, let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Right. Oh, hang on a sec. Okay. Right, brilliant. Okay, there's something else that we need to fix, and I'm kind of excited to doing it. So what's happening at the moment is as soon as we moved from one card to the next... Oh, actually, no, maybe not. I think we could do with it being rotating slightly less each time. Like, so they go like miles apart. We can change that. I think if we just change these to 5, let's see what that looks like. I think, yeah, at the moment it fans a little bit too much when you're sort of picking a card. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'm just having it. Still, it's good to have a little play just to work out. You know what? I quite like that. I'm kind of fine with that. So, right. So I did. I feel like because I spent a while, I'm just kind of like enjoying this. Right. So what we need to fix next is I'm about to create an error message, and I have no idea how to fix it. So if we end turn. Yes. Okay. Right. At the moment, when we hover over the card, sorry, not like yes, there's an error message, but I knew this error message was going to come, and I wanted to create it. So when we're hovering over the cards, when they're being spawned, what's actually going on there, and how can we deal with that? I don't actually know. I know where the problem is. Quite often the hard part is finding the problem. I know, I'm very aware of what the problem is. So I'm going to start getting rid of some of these debugs, just while I see them. Right. So, removing... So when it's adding or removing a card, it's busy. So we could simply make it, like, a very easy thing to do would be... where we're... let's have a look. When we're modulating... we could simply just have here, if not busy, then do all this. I don't think that would necessarily work, but let me have a little play, because the thing which... let me just see what happens, because... I think it will lead to problems, actually, because if you're casting a card and then you move your hand away, it won't know to return all the cards. But let's just see where we're at. Okay, so that works okay. Yeah. Still doesn't feel quite right. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I can do. Right. So if we actually play a card, let's just play that. Oh yeah, actually I know what's happened there. That's fine. But yeah, if we do that and then we start moving cards around, you know, that's kind of fixed it for the time being, hasn't it? Oh yeah. Yeah, at the moment the cards are in funny places. Oh yeah, sorry. The reason that we're getting this funny angle here is actually something really simple. Let me fix that. That's just purely because I oh yeah, indeed. you can see the modulation process, modulation going in progress. So yeah. So returning cards. Let's have a look. It's rotation vex. So when we are I think it's as simple as this just needs to be I. Right. Okay. Yeah. It's purely... I meant to set that earlier. But yeah, it's something which, like, yeah, I just hadn't... I only set half of it. So hopefully things should just return to the right place. Let's find out. Okay, so that's all good. And then we select it and it goes... Oh, hold on. Why is that not... So... Ah, it seems to be returning to the... to slightly the wrong place. Actually, I think that looks okay. Right. Yeah. I think that's just... Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Let me just have a little look. So it'll be on the hard thing. So the problem is when we're dragging a card, it's not returning to the exact point it really should do. while that goes down. So if all of this happens, then great. If not, so, oh right, okay, this code apparently does let it know that it's returning back. So let me just have a little experiment. Oh yeah, I use comments sometimes. I think I've had a few sort of series where I've just done massive chunks of comments to try and explain things. But I generally use comments to help me get from one step to the next. Whereas I remember speaking to someone who was like, apparently he'd done coding like literally since he was like 15 or something. He was incredibly good, and he said if like your functions are well named and all your variables and integers and everything is really well named, you don't actually need comments, because ideally you'll be able to see the code and see what it does. Plus, I'm lazy. No, it's not. Like, the main important thing is I will use comments sometimes, but only kind of like because ideally, like when I'm naming all my functions, I try to name it exactly what it does. Right. Anyway, I'm just checking something. So that one there, this card script. Right, we just want to make this public for the time being, because I want to check that it is returning. Yeah, I think like if ever it's a tricky one, if ever I do have a tricky problem, I do like to use comments. But okay, sorry, yeah. Yeah, the code should be self-documenting, but I think the problem or solution can sometimes be worth explaining. Yes, yeah, you are right, actually. That does make sense as a sort of like past reference. You are right. I probably should be doing that, to be honest. Like I think sometimes I'll just have like a like I don't know if you noticed earlier the. Where I've got this yeah, I had like a function here that was called like get rotation Z or something, and I was like, oh right, like I know that like I need to do exactly that again, but with a few modifiers, and because I knew like just from the title of what it did, like in this case it's like get rotation vex. Yeah, because I know exactly what it does, I'm like, I don't need comments. But you are right, there are certain times when you've got something quite complex, which, yeah, but like, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. What we're going to do, oh yeah, that's it. We need to have a look at the returning vec and check that it is, check that everything's all above board, right. So let's go no longer on maximize play. We've got this bad boy here, over here. Right, so the returning vec is 3 minus 1.20, and the current position is 3 minus 1.20. That is in the local scale. So now when maximize on play, for whatever reason, when I drag this and then put it back, oh, hang on a sec. Oh! Ha! See, this is why we did this. This is in the exact place it should be. Everything else is in the wrong place. Okay, right, that's why we did this. This is good. Yeah. Like, oh man, I was going to try and somehow work a way, like, to force this to go back into this is in the right place, right? How do we get all this to move back? I'm not sure. Yeah. I think I know. Yeah, I think I know what to do. Right. What we need to do is... Oh, actually, there's a much better way. This could be pretty tasty if I can do this. So what we're going to do is... this bit is quite necessary, so that's fine. Okay. Right. Yeah, I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but I think... So what we've got all of this is just making sure that the card goes back to being opaque. So this we can keep in, and... yeah, so this is an interesting one. Let's see if it works, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. That's quite a theme actually here. So here I've got code to move this back. Whereas what if I just did this? Handscript dot modulate. Oh no, not new modulate. New modulate. Null. Give it a shot. I think that might just simply work. It might not. If it does work, I'll explain why it's done the thing that it's done. Oh. Okay, that almost worked. Let me just put it on full screen. Oh, I see. I see. So when we've got it selected... Okay. Right. So, yeah, so this is almost working. So, the slight problem is it's still, yeah, like as long as my mouse button's not down and it's still on here, so you need to move the mouse button off. I don't think that should be too difficult. Let's have a look. Yeah. So we've got to work out why that is the case. So, because I have a feeling it's to do with the actual hitbox of the card. I think I might have switched it off, and then as soon as you let go, it switches back on, or something like that. Right. This is actually... Yeah, actually, no, we still might need that. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Yeah, right. So I'll have to... So, yeah, so I'm just sort of cleaning a few things up while I'm looking. Yeah. So what I'm actually going to have here is debug. We're just going to have hey and just get rid of that. Okay. So the reason I'm doing that is I want to work out if this function is called again. Oh, that's a genius idea. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, like, this is it. Yeah, sorry. Oh, by the way, sorry, just to confirm, Glisten came up with a good idea of making all the buildings look like various different tin cans, which I think is absolutely amazing. That could be like my next project of actually trying to draw, because I like the idea of having sort of some slightly sort of, you know, like, have a sort of little crooked look, like with dents and stuff in. That's, yeah, that would be brilliant. Oh wow, I love it. Yeah. And I think you need to disable collisions whilst it's animating back to the hand. Yeah, you're probably right, actually. What I'm just going to do a bit of an experiment here. So maximize on play. So we've got it. We're highlighting there. All right. Now I'm dragging, and now I'm letting go. Okay. All right. So it didn't actually. I thought it was going to call that function again. So now if I move off, it does that. So. So let me just... Yeah. So... Oh, I see, yeah. Okay. Right. I think you... Yeah, so... Yeah, the reason it's confusing is I was hoping that... like, when you actually highlight over... Right, and you drag and then let go. I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to call one of these functions again. Okay, I'm actually. Yeah, like I mean, because I think the weird thing is like in my head, right? And now this is quite an important thing to sort of mention. That like I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but there's a particular board game that's called something like the Citadel of Waterdeep or something like that, which. It's actually been a really successful board game, absolutely brilliant, like really good idea, like there's a good structure to it. And then what someone did, so basically that's kind of a very fantasy sort of game with like dragons and stuff. And someone actually made a version of the game, which is literally every single mechanic is exactly the same, except it's to do with shopping for products. So it's slightly more focused at people who are into shopping. It's slightly more sort of like feminine, but the actual mechanics are exactly the same. They have just changed everything. So it's like in my head, I've got such a good idea for an actual game, but when it actually comes to like details, I'm thinking, oh, I haven't really thought that far ahead. It's like the reason that I picked all the soldiers to be beans was purely that is much easier to draw. It's much easier to do run animations and walk animations when all you've got to do is just worry about the little legs and stuff. The grass could be a tablecloth, and yeah, Monster Dude could be a floating face. Well, one thing which I need to emphasise, I want there to be like an array of. Oh yes, oh maybe. Oh man, this is exciting! I'm loving all this. Okay, I've got like, like I think it could be sort of various different, like yeah, like I say, as far as the actual monster that's coming to approach, I genuinely like. I just thought the blob is the easiest thing to, you know, but I'm loving this. This is brilliant. Right, so. Where are we at? Oh, we're still at the same problem that I don't know what to deal with. Right. So we can just do a bit of experiment. Let's try and work out where the oh yes, okay, right. Another thing which I actually realised we can check. So this we don't need that anymore. What we do want though is this is public and this is public. Right, so we can actually see if it's to do with the modulator. Lean into the bean theme. Raccoons love eating beans, so they could be eating monsters. Yeah, yeah. It could be the monsters. Yeah, okay. I love it. I love all this. Lean into the bean theme outside of Dr. Aerobot, Bean Machine. The bean-related games market is underserved. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, now, I mean, I think I was originally going to call the game something like Beantopia, and so I just did a quick Google search, and it was as if Beantopia. It's like, oh come on, of course that name's been made. Like, you know, I think there might have already been a game called Beantopia, and there's merchandise. There's a separate website. I was like, oh no, yeah, like, yeah, sponsored by Heinz. I like it. Right. So, oh yeah, what we're going to do now? We're going to. So we've got the hand. So that's the modulating float. That's the modulating that. So. Right. So it's currently not modulating. When we let go, it's still not modulating. Okay. Oh! I know the problem. I know the problem. I know exactly what the problem is. I don't know how to fix it, but I know where. Well, I mean... I know I need to stand pretty clear. We're definitely Rumpletown is too good a name. Like, do you know how happy I was when I realised Rumpletown hadn't been taken? I was thinking, oh my gosh, like this is one of the coolest names for a town you can ever call it. But Rumpletown isn't really that much to do with beans. I know, but like, but you know, like it's got to be called Rumpletown. Right. Right, we can fix it. I know what the problem is. So, where we've got our drag routine, when it's trying to modulate here, it's currently still busy. The hand script is busy, so it won't modulate. I just don't quite know. Hold on, what we could do... so we can actually have a Boolean here called force modulation, equal it to false. And so it needs to either be not busy for the modulation to work, or force modulation. So the only problem, I mean, this works. That is a really quick fix answer. Am I happy with that? I think leaning really hard into the beans defending themselves from raccoon monsters theme and calling it Rumpletown is perfectly absurd. Yes. What are you talking about? No, it's brilliant. Like, yes, I mean, absurd is definitely what I'm going for. Right. Anyway, so I think this will work. I'm just trying to work out if I'm happy with this. Yeah, because that's right. So this should work. Oh, hey man, you all right? How you doing? We're having a long discussion as to what the actual theme of this game should be. At the moment, we're working. It's going to be bean themed, but we're having a sort of back and forth discussion as to what we should actually make the enemies and stuff. Right, so we're checking the new modulation. So let's go. So first of all, we want to just check that it's still not going to give the error message. Right, so yeah, we can still hover over there, that's fine. So now we select a card, and then it comes back. Oh, fantastic. Brilliant, okay. Right, brilliant. So, yeah, I'm trying to work out if that's still as smooth as we can reasonably get it. Yeah, I think that's okay. The only thing which I'm looking for is, yeah, so when we are selecting it, this one is actually shrinking down and this one is growing. Okay, brilliant. Right, so that's quite a lot of things sorted already. I'm going to... oh yeah, of course, I'd had the whole discard thing. Right. So I'm just going to have a little play and just try and work out my next sort of like the next thing that I need to do. Oh, okay, that's interesting. While this is busy doing stuff there, you can't sort of select the card over. So what we could actually do, we can have yeah. So when when you're selecting a card, yeah, that's all right. That's exactly what we're thinking of. So we're trying to move it. We're trying to access the cards while we're still drawing them. Ah, cool. Oh, wicked. Oh, nice. How you doing? Ah, cool. Oh, so do you both? So are both of you like game? Do you do like lots of game dev? Is it Spagus? Dev Spagus? Ah, cool. All right. Let's rock. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look. So we need to, yeah, so what actually created that error message first? I think it was trying to access the cards while we were waiting for this to draw. So if I go end turn, because part of the thing that you're looking to do, yeah, that's it. So you're trying to access these cards whilst this is drawing, that's fine. And so what's actually happening? Oh yeah, so it's now added a new one into the mix, and these are still all set to 3. Yeah. Like, yeah, because the like I'm gonna, yeah, I think I'm kind of looking forward to making sort of like houses or something that have that sort of like tin kind of like that look a bit like a you know, yeah, it's like ideas are suddenly like coming in my mind. But like I say, I'll do all the art stuff off stream because I just, you know, like there's nothing elegant about. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, that sounds like a good plan. Right, yeah. So right, here's the idea now. You are right, yeah. So this is the game that that I've come up with. Well, yeah, I suppose because to be honest, both Gliss and KO2 Fan have helped me out quite a lot here. So the idea, it's going to play a little bit like Slay the Spire. These are your mana crystals on the left, and you're looking to build up an army and build up some attackers. Oh yeah, no. So you've only got one left, so that's okay. So these are your defenders, and you got your attackers. Let's go get some attackers ready. And yeah, and we're also making some of the attackers become armoured. So that's all my mana spent this turn. And unlike Slay the Spire, there is actually a build-up. So this is approaching closer. So we want to try and build as big an army as we can. Let's go. And you can. There's some upgraded versions of the card. These are just the 5 defended ones, but I've got a 7 one here. So I think we're going to have 7 attackers here. Add more over. And then give them some armour. Right, and then when the actual combat arrives, fantastic. So we can then give armour to all of these guys. And all the armoured ones, they can both they do their attack, but they don't die afterwards. They just lose their armour. So here we go. So yeah, this is how the attack works. At the moment, it's still looking a little, but like we're looking to defeat him. But if we don't actually put up a good enough defense, then he'll crash through all of these and then damage the base afterwards. And yeah, so like kind of, I think yeah, so like and you can just like end turn, so it's slowly damaging. At the moment, we've got no sort of animation or anything for when you defeat the enemy, but like, and I'm thinking of different ideas for like what the monsters can do. But that's pretty much all we've come up with so far. This particular episode, we've been working on trying to get the cards to like make them slightly more sort of selectable, and it's looking quite smooth at the moment. But but a slight problem is that we've realised is when you're drawing, when you're trying to hover and it's doing all of this, we've created an error message. Now I'll tell you what, I'm going to feel a bit bad in saying this. I'm probably going to end the stream here, because solving that problem, I don't think I've quite got the brain power to actually do. But like, I do really appreciate, like, it's been nice actually having a like an actual kind of like sort of good discussion about like how the beans and everything are going to work, and the sort of like various different themes. Because yeah, at the moment I want to this didn't take me that long like to draw this, because I actually got a better version of it, like as in a professional one, and kind of, you know, essentially sort of copied and pasted from there. But that's what I'm looking to do at some point. Maybe like by the time I do my next stream, I'm going to have sort of some better pictures to work with and stuff. But yeah, like we'll fix. Yeah, and I think I'm going to see if I can fix this error with the card drawing, because I think it only occurs when the discard pile is, when the draw pile is empty and it sort of comes over. Right. Anyway, this has been actually a lot of fun and stuff. Thanks so much for sticking by and stuff. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later. I do Thursdays and Saturdays. But yeah, it'd be really cool to see the progress. I've been making sort of what I would consider sort of slow and steady progress, but it has been, you know, it's just been quite satisfying. I think next episode I want to fix this problem and then probably introduce a couple more cards, because at the moment we've only got 4. And I think it might be... So the next episode I'm going to have a new type of unit, right, which is similar to the attacker, except it's going to be called a ranger. So it's going to have a sort of either a gun or a bow. I haven't worked out, but the idea is it attacks before the enemy attacks, and it attacks every turn. So even when it's far away, it's still going to continuously do damage. But as soon as the Town Heart takes any damage, all of the rangers just instantly die. I feel like I don't know. I think that's what I'm thinking. Oh yes, right. Did you want to raid Boppy Games so his viewers can find out about you? Yes, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah, awesome. Right. Now most people are like, yeah, cool, I'll quickly raid. Because I'm an old man, I actually need to work out how to raid. So I think I know how. Right, let's have a look. If I suddenly cut out, I do apologise. So whenever I'm watching any other streamers, they just seem so... Right, let's have a look. Right. Right, let's go. That's my own voice. You should have this open already, Pete. Let's go. Right. What is he staring at? Oh yeah, no, thank you very much. It's been awesome. Actually, I think it's right. Okay, Stream manager. Right. Okay. Oh, is it Boppy Games? Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, oh thank you for the follow, by the way. Awesome. Right, okay, I think we're ready now. Let's go. Alright.